talking about finances and money shouldn't be a thing that makes you scary or anxious. It's one of the main thing that the world is going about. So, and we need that every day. It shouldn't be something that you run away from. By running away from it, you are causing much more problems.
Men are hired for potential and women are hired for experience. And I feel that we are socialized maybe and grown up to only trust what we really have achieved, like trust facts.
I have felt that is our family cursed or something? If I speak about our family, my siblings and everything. And I know I don't believe in curses, but sometimes you feel like that. And it seems like it's going on for generation to generation. So I'm happy to say that maybe I'm the one to break the cycle.
Oh my God, I love what's going on here.
Don't put yourself in the corner. Everybody has something special in them. If you're not going to put yourself out there, you're not going to be able to see this is what I like, this is what I'm not like, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm not good at.
Making bold decisions. Nileta, for the last 16 years, and I really must say, completely behind the scenes, you have found a company, Growing Paper, a handmade plantable seed paper company in South Africa, here in South Africa, where a team of 40 people turn recycled paper into cards, stationery, and gifts embedded with real seeds. And I must just show this quickly. You can really feel it. I didn't know what seed paper was. I only imagined it to be. And if you compost this, something can grow out of it, which is amazing. You're running the factory floor, you're managing people, you're keeping the business afloat, you're growing it. And Nileta, I remember during our first introduction, you first told me about your doubts. Can I add value to this podcast? What can I tell them? I'm not a born entrepreneur. I'm not good in finances. And this is exactly why we're having this kind of conversation, right? To open up and overcome these self-doubts that we as women apparently have, yeah? And what you don't see, and maybe because you really genuinely don't feel that yet, is that you're exactly one of the examples that I want to show here in our Bold podcast, right? Show what resilience in real life looks like, and that amazing women who are doing incredible things share their story so we can all learn from you and we can break this silence of women not talking about success and finances and money. So today with Nileta Knoetzen, I hope I pronounced it right. Knoetzen.
Don't worry.
In Cape Town. I'm so glad you can join us.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks for you for taking the time. And maybe you can start with, why did you say these self-doubts in our interview? And also you mentioned one thing maybe that's super interesting. It's interesting that this podcast request comes now in your life. What is behind that?
When I talk about Growing Paper, it's easy to talk about my Growing Paper because I love it. It's easy. I love my job. I'm so grateful for it. But when you said finances, I was immediately, what can I talk about finances? Because I'm not the one making all the decisions about finances in Growing Paper. And I also, most of my life, I think I ran away from it.
Wow.
I married very young. My husband is 9 years older than me. And I think when we got married, I was really a little bit not mature enough to deal with the finance thing. And I think we're now at a point, I want to take that. Don't want to take lead, but I want to say in our marriage, but listen, we had some stuff happening in the past and with our finances in our marriage. And it feels like I'm the one now to get us together and say, let's start looking at this and this and this.
Oh, that's so nice. You want to be more involved now.
Yeah. Cool. That's how I've changed over the years. And I think it's mainly because I've grown so much as a person, and I can directly say it comes from the work that I do in Growing Paper, because I was always not so confident, shy, I would always go back last in line or give other people an opportunity to speak.
Wow.
Where now in Growing Paper, I have to take the lead. I have to stand before a lot of people and tell them what's going on and what's happening and what we are planning, and I have to help make the decision. So I think that my role in Growing Paper helped me grow a lot. to a place where I want to know more about finances and I want to grow. And I think, we're getting there. Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't know that about you. That's also interesting because what I see usually is that women only, or not only, like it's, let's say 70% or 60% come to me when something happens in their life. And usually it's not something good, right? So it's either a divorce, a death, any financial struggles. And then they take ownership, but it's usually later in life.
Yeah.
And like in Europe, for example, we have a pension system. So at 65, 67, you retire. And the shorter the time frame is to reach that age, right? The more the pressure comes.
Yes, I can imagine.
Exactly. So I appreciate how you say it, that you didn't feel like ready enough or confident enough maybe to discuss this topic when you got married, I think in your 20s, right? And now through your work or through the role that you have and the responsibilities, and you have also like almost adult children, or some are adult.
Adult children, nearly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what we can do to speed up this, should we call it ripening process or like maturity process? How do you say in English? Because I also wondered, you said I wasn't a born entrepreneur, but now you're rocking this company. You're exporting, I think, now to Europe and the US. It's impressive. When you were co-founding this company, looking back to then, do you think you were aware of what you would step into? Or was it more of, sure, let's try it and let's see where it goes?
In my head, I couldn't think of what the possibilities is, because how many people still give cards or buy cards? But Roxanne, the main founder of Growing Paper, she had like this vision and she had lots of plans and dreams and she was wanting to go big. I was just the one that she asked to join in, and I was lucky that she did ask me, because otherwise I would have not been here where I am today. Yeah, she's the one with the business. I'm more the one that will give everything away for free. But over the years, obviously, that's changed as well. But I still struggle.
Nice. And I want to speak with you in a few moments also about the business side. But I love that you're sharing a bit this personal side, that you say, oh, I was this shy girl waiting in line. And now that's a bit my interpretation. I mean, I don't know you too well, but that's a bit my interpretation. Now you also have to step up a bit in a role. So you're saying, she was the visionary. She had this amazing plans when you saw yourself more in the back, right? You didn't want to be also in the front. But now, because she's stepping back for personal reasons, you have, but also maybe now in the meantime, you feel slowly ready to take on a bit more front role, leadership role.
Yeah, I think a lot has happened over the years. I was actually forced to step in because when Grandpa was 1 year old, Roxanne moved to Free State Gauteng. And at that time we had blackberries, so we worked over our blackberries via technology. So I was left on the farm where the factory is, and I had to make magic happen there, and she's on that side. And so over the years I had to step up and run the production, basically. I think sometimes that was frustrating for her because she's on that side and she can't help as much as she wants to. But things happen as it's supposed to happen. And I think, over the years, as we've grown, obviously, if you're an entrepreneur, you, in the beginning, you do everything. And then you come at a point where you struggle to delegate or to give some of your work over to another person. But over the last year, we finally, I think, at a place where we use the people that we have and give them more responsibilities, so that we can have more space for doing what we're supposed to do, working not in the business but on the business.
Like hands-on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And so it's interesting that you say you specifically didn't have that clear vision. I personally also say I'm not a born entrepreneur. It's something I try to grow into, like with help also from outside, right? And when was the moment where you said, actually, oh my God, this is more than just a project. We really have something going on here, right? This is a real business. We can grow it. We can hire people. I feel like a lot of not only South Africans, but also like Mexicans or Asians, they want to build companies also to create jobs.
Yeah.
When was the moment for you realized, oh, we have something going on here?
In the year we started, we attended a organic expo at the CTICC. And the feedback we got there was really big. And one of our first clients we got from that Organic Expo was a big franchise at that time. They were our first big client, and I think that that's when it's changed for me. That I realized, and as we've appointed people over the years, more and more people, it just when I realized, well,
that you're actually creating something.
yes,
Isn't that crazy that, we always have the saying that women are hired, like in employment, for example, men are hired for potential and women are hired for experience. And I feel that we are socialized maybe and grown up to only trust what we really have achieved, like trust facts. And for me, it's the same. Like if I haven't done it, I'm not sure I can do it, which is perverse, right? Yeah. And like maybe now you saw then, oh, it's actually, I can sign on clients. I can sign on deals. Oh, maybe that's crazy that we have to have it on paper, no?
Yeah. And once you have it, you struggle to give it over to someone. You want to like protect it, basically.
Control
it, basically.
Output, the service. And I want to speak with you also, you as a parent. You're not only an entrepreneur, but as a parent also. In your bio, you say, being a working parent helped you embrace work-life balance.
Yes.
And I'm really, really curious because you have 2 kids. You're also responsible for your mom, which is a super important aspect here in this podcast. And you manage then these 35 plus people. So let's really talk honest. Like, can you even say with so many responsibilities that you have achieved work-life balance? Is it something you keep chasing? How does it work for you?
There's days when it goes very well, and there's days when I feel, oh my, I just want to run away from the responsibility. So obviously, there's days that I'm on top of the world and I can handle everything. But then there are days that sometimes it gets too much. But that's also a privilege that I have so much responsibilities.
Oh, I like how you phrased that.
Yeah, so that I think I have it under control. I know what I must do. I know I must exercise during the week, or you maybe go for walks, or I do swimming as well. So I know I have to do that. I always say it's more for my head than for my body.
There are studies that prove actually, I think just this morning I read that you have a 770 % more probability if you don't do sports to feel stressed and go into depression.
I can feel it in my head if I don't go out and go walk or exercise or go swimming. And then I think also I definitely make time in the mornings for my quiet time. I wake up first and in the house, and my quiet time is in the morning. So that's my where I think what I need and what I have to do in order to just take on the world and all the responsibilities.
I like that. So purposefully plan time for yourself, prioritize your health, I would say. But like physical health?
Yes.
Or are you doing something for mental health as well?
My mental health is my quiet times in the morning.
Okay,
definitely.
Nice. And how, just out of interest, right? How do you handle it? Do you then, I don't know, block your weeks or half days for certain tasks? Like, this is my entrepreneurial time. This is my mom time. You're also a wife, right? How do you arrange everything? Your mom, a daughter, also yourself. How do you arrange fitting everything literally in your agenda?
Luckily, my work is flexible, obviously, because I'm flexible in my work. If I do not work this afternoon, I try to fix it or to get it work in the night or whenever I can. So I work on my Google Calendar a lot.
Same.
I have to. And I try to make lists all over where I go. Otherwise, I will lose something but I tend to work a lot on the Google Calendar and book out when it's necessary to do what.
It's so interesting because I hear flexibility is key, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking a lot with also employed women, obviously, but then on the other hand, also entrepreneurs who want to facilitate an environment where more women feel, and moms also feel welcomed and that they can give all their best. And I think this flexibility for anyway parents, it's not only women, but also men, right, is key. And then like when I started my entrepreneurial journey, it's like I went to all these like marketing and sales and how to build a funnel and how to run a business. And it's usually men who give these courses, let's say, or mentorings. And then they say, okay, block exactly your calendar from this time to this time, only this. And then this time, only client costs. And this time, only team costs, blah, blah. And then I spoke to a mentor of mine who's a woman. And she's like, Christina, do you think that is realistic for you? Because I never stuck to the timelines. And then I felt so bad about it.
Yeah.
She's like, aren't you building exactly a business because you want more freedom, more flexibility?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I feel like, I mean, that's my interpretation, my opinion, right? And as of what I know now, this will change maybe in the next years and decades. But I feel like what we're trying to do is fit so much in this world made by and for men and take what they say, like 5 a.m. club, work hard and then work out hard. Now we know this raises our cholesterol even more. And instead of just following our intuition.
Mm.
And yeah.
I think when I listened to one of your podcasts, I think you were talking to someone about, I also grew up in a family working hard, and I still believe we have to work hard. I don't like if someone is lazy, but I think one day I told that to my son, and he said, no, that's not necessarily, you don't have to work hard to get somewhere. And I was not agreeing with him, but I think you talked about someone with that, and I think we grew up with that. You have to work hard. But now, as I work with the business coach as well the other day, she said, I am in a role now where I not be lazy, but I need to be overlooking everything and not be so busy the whole time. I'm allowed to be a little bit lazy, but it's difficult for me because I have the mentality of I need to work. Yeah.
It is so interesting that you say that. What is work? What we think, I mean, I'm not sure how similar we grew up, but being productive, doing something with a clear outcome and like feeling like you're doing something, right? But I think especially
something to show for you. You must, at the end of the day, you can show that you've done that. Yeah.
It's so crazy. But now maybe as a leader, like you are more exactly taking this bird's eye perspective.
Yes. Yeah.
You reflect also a lot. You take input from other people. You try to digest it then into your business to lead them and show this vision.
Yeah.
And that is not necessarily having a direct outcome on paper, right?
Yeah. 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 And sometimes I feel bad. You tend to feel guilty if you're not like productive for 8 hours the day. But in my mind, I mean, I'm thinking about business in my mind for 24/7, basically. It feels like that sometimes. But
100%. Yeah. And what did you do right? It's like completely unscripted, but like, what did you do right that your son has this amazing mindset?
I don't know. I think I think that comes from his father. I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know. But I think he's more likely to go into business. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but he apparently doesn't think that, how do you say, working really, really hard and sacrificing your own health, your own is necessary in order to be successful.
Yeah.
I'm still not there yet, but I'm working also on that. Yeah.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Who do you lean on when things are getting hard?
Definitely my husband. Shami is also very involved in growing paper. So there were one point in, I think 2018, where no, it was earlier on, I think, when we started to export our paper. The export market was looking for certain grammages of paper, and it's very difficult to get handmade paper a certain grammage. So then we were just struggling. At that point, I was very much more involved in the production still. And we were so struggling to get the orders out for the export market, to have the right ranges and grammages and to have the right quality. And then we approached him to help us because my husband is quite a problem solver. Got him in to help us develop recipes for us. And over the years, he's helped with a lot of stuff. So, and also he's as an objective mind, so he looks things in another way. So definitely
a bit more distant, maybe.
Yes, yeah, definitely him. And then also Roxanne, I spoke a lot to because she's obviously the founder and she can give her insight as well. And then since last year, I have a business coach, so that also helps a lot,
It's also very interesting. That's now just my personal take, how you answered that question only business related. Funny, huh?
Oh, yes, yeah. I don't even realize, yeah.
Do you have like girlfriends, like when it's maybe not only about the business, but something emotional? Do you have a tight network of girlfriends or?
I do. I do have a lot of girlfriends. Yeah, we don't go often as a lot, but yeah, there's definitely times when we yeah, when I like friends, so I like to do. I need to do something with friends, otherwise.
And I feel, especially as a mom, I don't know, like for me, it's always, I'm so in awe of parents and especially moms with all the mental load. And
yeah, and I love I love women. I love to be surrounded with women, and yeah, like just I think we are awesome.
I sign that. Yes.
So groups of women is also interesting for me. Yeah, I tend to be shy at first, but I find it awesome to be in a group of women. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, there's so much support. That's why we're also like doing this, right? We have like youth WhatsApp communities. We hold webinars. Like also my programs just for women. Most in the team are also women. So yeah, it's a safe space. It's supportive,
Yeah.
growth minded.
And we're all struggling with the same stuff, actually. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, also different, but also very much the same.
Especially from the mindset. How can you explain a bit how were you? Because I want to go back to that intro statement that I made, right? That when I asked you about the podcast and what we're doing, women talking finance and business, you're saying, oh, I'm not good in finance. You literally said it like that. When you now look back and reflect back, how did you grow up when you say, hey, in my 20s, I wasn't ready enough yet to talk about it? How did your parents speak about money? How did your parents speak with you about money? Do you have siblings? Do you remember money discussions there?
Yeah, that's this is where the vulnerable part comes in. Yeah, so I think growing up, my parents were struggling. My father was a farmer, and he lost his farm when I was still little. So I'm the youngest of four, so I don't remember much. But it wasn't. Yeah, for him, farming was his whole life. So for him, it didn't have a good effect on his health for the rest of his life. I always say we grew up with parents that were flowing with love for us, but the thing is the talk about money and obviously they were fighting about money, and I think that made me run away from it, you know. And I think going into marriage as well, when my husband tried to speak about it, I was running away, basically. Not running away, but yeah, I couldn't face it because I wasn't taught how to basically to handle it. Yeah, it was always a scary thing for me, and it's not supposed to be like that. So I think, yeah, that's why I ran away all these years, and now I'm finally at a point where I think that's why I say it's interesting that I'm talking to you about this, but at a place in my life where I know how necessary it is, and yeah, especially we have kids, and to direct them as well in the right way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love how reflected you are. Like you unwrapped a lot now of this. Okay, where do your parents come from? How was it discussed? Did you take any of these patterns? And what I realize is, I mean, obviously the women who come to me, they are aware already, right? They want to solve that problem. Yeah. So to say, I'm taking the responsibility now to break that generational pattern also. And it's usually one person per family. I mean, I work with women, so one woman per family. And then I see they are dragging in a good way, right? The husband. Hey, we should discuss this. We're having money dates now. Okay, the husband is usually like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Talking about investing with the kids or finances with the kids. Or nieces, if they don't have kids. Like I'm investing also for my niece. She was born last year. And it's like I have a client, she manages now the wealth of her mom, herself, and the sister. Because they wouldn't. They are just not interested. What would you have wished to know earlier?
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to know that talking about finances and money shouldn't be a thing that makes you scary or anxious. It's one of the main thing that the world is going about. So, and we need that every day. It shouldn't be something that you run away from. By running away from it, you are causing much more problems. So where instead you can sit down and have talks about it, get informed, that will make the world easier for a lot of people.
And especially for your 50 or 60-year-old self.
Yes, yeah.
Just completely random question. I'm not sure if you have an answer, but how can a client of mine said it this way. She said, I wish women would react on this, prioritize the topic when everything is great in their life. they have an amazing career business, they're earning well, they're in a stable partnership or not, but like there's no danger situation, nothing bad. Do you have any idea how I can make that happen without putting pressure or having this like fear marketing? What could I do?
Mainly, I think the first thing is to get informed and to break, and this is what you're busy with, is breaking the barrier of we are thinking we're not good enough, or we are not worthy enough, or it's we are running away from stuff. So I think that's the first thing, is breaking this barrier, because I really usually I don't stress to talk about my job and my work at growing paper, but I think it was causing a lot of inside emotions in me, and I'm not a very emotional person, so so knowing that I should talk to you about this obviously awakens a lot of emotions and stuff, but it's good because it needs to happen and it needs to come out, and and for you, as you said, to also break this generational thing, and to be the first one in the family, because sometimes I always feel, or I have felt, that is our family cursed or something? If I speak about our family, my siblings and everything. And I know I don't believe in curses, but sometimes you feel like that. And it seems like it's going on for generation to generation. So, I'm happy to say that maybe I'm the one to break the cycle.
Oh my God, I love what's going on here. This is so many levels of, I don't know how to call it, transformation.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think what I'm aiming for is to have this, yes, we have this awareness. The system is also not built for us, right? So it's not our fault. Like, it's now 50 years ago in Europe and the US that we can't even open bank accounts in our own name. For that, like, it's crazy. So is this in the system? The thing is, yes, it is doom and gloom. The numbers are bad. But the cool thing is, we have it in our hand to change it. Yeah. But it takes a bit, in German we say, to overcome the Schweinehund, the inner Schweinehund. It's like this inner lazy dog to take action. And I'm not saying now for the rest of your life, every week you have to spend 5 hours on your finances, right? But there are studies that show that women spend 6 to 8 hours per week on social media.
Yeah, and why not instead? Yeah.
Exactly. My clients spend like 1 or 2 hours per month on their finances. So fair enough, right? Have you seen this like wheel of wellness where it's like our nutrition, our sleep, our relationships, our sports. So we take care of all of that.
Yeah.
But finances is one part, and we just like, how do you say it? Not look at it at all. Yeah. I want to talk to you also about something that is for me really personal, because I'm also completely new in this entrepreneurial role, being responsible for, I mean, I'm not as responsible as you for so many. We have like 6, 7, 8 people. You have almost 40. And their families maybe also, right? Like ensuring they get paid. And navigating that pressure makes you to think differently also about investments in the business, planning the future, spendings or expansion. Or at least for me, that's the case. I would say I don't make decisions as lightly anymore as before. I always say I grow up now. I'm too old to grow up, but like I say now, suddenly money and time are restricted resources. And I was maybe very naive I was always happy in employment, right? I had a great job, great career, worked internationally. And I was maybe now I say naive. I said yes to everything. I was having this excitement. I slept way too little. That's why I also had like an illness when I was 30, but I always lived a bit to the maximum, right? So time and money were not limited resources. And now as an entrepreneur, they are, because you take on the responsibility. And your co-founder has opened up about this publicly. At one point, she said that the cash flow wasn't positive and you needed bridge financing in order to avoid layoffs. Maybe you were a bit the victim of your own ambition, and I can completely relate. What does it feel like being inside a business that's growing and struggling at the same time, and then being responsible for the team?
I think the word is it is terrifying, because one thing we always try to avoid is laying off people. So we've always tried to make some plans so that we can keep everybody. Even at the times where the cash flow were bad, we would rather do a little bit of short time rather than laying people off.
Did you inform them? How did you handle it towards them?
Yes, I think we've always tried to be open with them about it. Obviously, because there's times when we had to maybe. There's a stupid thing is one time, or that was one point since COVID time, we bought it's like little hand towels. After you wash your hands, you dry it with the hand towels. So little stuff like that. We decided, okay, we're rather not going to buy the hand towels, but we're going to go back to throwaway hand towels. We're going to rather go back to like physical towels that you wash, stuff like that. So we've always tried to tell them what's going on, what are we trying to do to make it better.
To keep them motivated.
Yes, yeah, because it's just the right thing to do, because they are always wondering, am I going to get a raise? What's going on? Yeah, and otherwise they live with that fear of, am I going to lose my job or not? So I think it's rather be honest, and yeah.
So you're saying you share not the fear, but you share actually, look, this is the fact, but we're solving it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you solve it? Like, did you have bridge financing from a bank, a financial institution, from a VC, from friends and family? Did you get an investor in for some shares of the company?
From a bridging company, yeah. Yeah.
And what were their conditions? They wanted to get pieces of the company, or?
No. Yeah, luckily not, yeah.
So just the interest rate and that's it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, because I was interested in if you have investors or not.
No.
Cool.
Yeah, many years ago we had also, it was many years ago, I remember there was a company interested, but then we decided against it, and I can't remember now why, and I can't remember what, but yeah, not investors. But we have clients that's very good, especially the European clients, very good to us, really.
Yeah. What does it mean? Like, in which sense?
Like for instance, we have like a client in Switzerland, and he will always share the profit with us in a way. Maybe in the middle of the year, he will say, okay, they have done really well, so they want to give a bit percentage and pay it out to us, so that we can pay to our. They're also a fair trade company, so then we pay it out to the employees. Yeah, then he pays in amount, and also like our agent in the Netherlands, he always in December months when we go on holiday, he always pays something extra for every employee. Yeah, and I mean, there were times when we couldn't pay bonuses in December for holiday, but then we had that amount from our agent in the Netherlands, which always obviously helped over the December holidays for the
interest. Yeah. Sorry, I have to ask this. Are those female-led companies?
No.
Interesting. And you said, sorry, what did you mention? Which business is it?
Client in Switzerland is a fair trade company. Do you know fair trade?
A fair trade. Sorry. Yeah, the certificate. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool. Because we have actually quite a lot of clients. Like, I feel like women, or there are studies on this, not only I feel like it's proven, women want to have a good impact with their money. So lots of my clients, they ask for sustainable investments. How can I ensure I'm not in times of war, right? For example, investing in defense. And like I see men, they're mostly interested in making a return. They're not so much interested in the impact. So I think this will resonate with a lot of listeners.
Yeah, maybe they have a wife. They do have wives, but maybe the wife is the one at the back that's responsible. No, but they have a heart for what we do, and they see what we do, and they appreciate what we do, yeah.
Where's most of your export going?
Europe.
Europe, okay.
Yeah. So we send out a shipping every month to Netherlands, and then from Netherlands it goes to Germany, France, and then the Switzerland clients direct line from us, but yeah, mostly Europe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a sign for like having a more like sustainable source of paper, like the relevance of having more sustainable source of paper, or is it just that you don't have so many relationships to the US, for example?
I've come to learn that the US is not so big on sustainability. Then obviously we would like to have clients there, but they are not so big on sustainability. And it seems to me like in Europe, the market is also a little bit flooded already, because there's so much there is seeded paper, and there is other eco-friendly alternatives. But still, our paper is beautiful and they like it.
Then how about, I mean, I have to ask this question, right? How about Africa? How about Asia?
Asia also, they I think there's especially India and those places, they make their own seeded paper. Yeah, but it's not as beautiful as ours. It's more like it's not a cheaper looking paper.
I like how confidently you say that. And it's interesting, the concept of not having investors in, because I learned about your business that you keep your production completely handmade.
We try to.
Crazy, huh? Which means you cannot compete on prices with machine made by, for example, seed paper from China or India. It's interesting that you mentioned it now. You could cut costs, you could let people go, but you haven't. So talk me through that decision of we keep the production handmade, and especially if it's also in relation to not having companies come in or investors come in.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things we stand for is the reason why we do handmade is one of the reasons is to create jobs. So we do have 1 or 2 machines, but still we do need a lot of hands making the paper, cutting the paper, packaging and everything. So that is definitely one of the values that we stand for is creating jobs. And also, I think having an authentic and unique product, that's definitely one of our values. Seeded paper, you can't really, we have thought about automation, but you can't really do the seeded paper with automation because just of the seeds that's in the paper, it makes everything a little bit difficult as well. But yeah, that's I think one of the main reasons we do handmade is because we need hands, and hands create jobs.
I love that this is one part of your values and mission. And I mean, it fits also the product. You're sustainable, social, like it's part of the ESG targets.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the questions is basically, but how we can't compete with plastic or other types of paper and stuff. I think the type of client we have is someone who definitely sees what we do and appreciate what we do, and wanting a product that's different, but also that's responsive or that's sustainable, eco-friendly, good quality. And I think one of the reasons why we have people coming back is a very good customer experience as well. So all of that makes it, I think, why people are coming back.
Yeah, this is what you stand for. This is the brand. That's like a holistic story of how you treat your people, what you offer, how you run the business. And talking also about running the business, we said already your co-founder who had actually this vision, she's stepping back slowly. So you're stepping up. You're also stepping more into the front like you do now. How are you building a support system on that, especially saying, hey, I had to learn entrepreneurship. How are you growing? With whom are you growing?
Yeah, so I'm growing with a business coach, and that also happened basically. It's a friend of my sister-in-law that she's a financial background, but she started a business in mentoring and coaching business a few years ago, and I was actually looking into it more for Roxanne, to help Roxanne more, and then it actually turned out that now I'm working with her more. So so since we started last year January, she just helped me grow and learn more and give me tools so that I can also equip my team that's working underneath me. So that has been an awesome journey, really. Yeah,
that would be interesting. What are you working on with her? Like, how can we imagine these discussions or the outcome?
Sure, there's a lot of stuff. So just for instance, like a conflict and strategies, and we did customer surveys and how important that is. And every time we have a session, we also go through our financials. So that helps a lot because that was something I wasn't involved in actually. So she has that background. So we go through the financials every time, and she just she asks for our financials, and she looks at all the best sellers, and then we brainstorm together. And so there's a lot of coaching, but I also have a lot of homework and videos to watch and homework to do. But it's nice because it's stuff that it goes in my head, and then I actually can equip the people that's working in my team. And it's nice to see if they come back. The other day, I think one of my colleagues, she came back to me. She was having a meeting with her team, and then she used all the material that I gave her, that I got from the business code, that I also used, and she used that with the team to explain to them. It's about the priorities in life. So it's like pebbles and stones and sand.
Let's quickly explain that for everyone who doesn't know that. So you have a how do you say, a vase or a vase, and then you want to fill it. And if you, for example, put first the sand and then the pebbles and then the stones, the big stones, you will not cram everything in. But if you put first the very big stones, and then the pebbles, or what is bigger, stones or pebbles?
Stones are bigger,
Stones are bigger.
Pebbles.
So you decide which ones to put in, then the pebbles, and then on top you put the sand. You can really pack a lot more into it, right? So you're defining on the priorities the stones and the pebbles. So okay.
So it's just nice that they can come back and they can also use the tools that I've learned. I can teach them as well, and they can, So a lot of changes happened because of the business coaching that I had,
Nice. And that reflects also on your private life.
Then. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you mention, again, women give the newfound knowledge to their community. This is what I also see with the finances. And then talking also about finances, because you say we're looking actually at the finances. And I mean, I'm also involved in Switzerland in like female founder, like promotional activities, right? To have more women founding. And what I see is, it's numbers, not only what I see, what we see is women found to improve the world. They want to do something better, and men found to make money. I mean, this is now very gender stereotypical, but if our businesses, like the female-led businesses, are not surviving because we're not making money, then we cannot create the jobs, we cannot create the change anyway, right? So it's like, how do you bring this financial angle into it? And it's, for me, how I summarize it, for me, I also have someone that I do the financial planning and accounting with strategically. And she looks so much into, okay, how much are my efforts? Which output is it bringing? So to direct the efforts better, I would translate it like that. And I obviously then always think, how does this impact my clients? Because in the end, it's exactly the same. I always say, I don't want to seem too spiritual or something or esoterical, but you run your budget, like for your private life, according to your pebbles and stones, to your priorities. And that is an amazing, powerful tool. So if we can align how we spend money to what actually is important to us, that's also something I work with for my clients. That's an amazing, empowering tool. And I feel like in the business, we're doing a bit the same now.
Yeah.
Does it feel different for you to make more decisions now alone, as actually the deal was to have like a co-founder set up? Does the feeling change when you are more responsible instead of like being every day together, taking every decision together?
I think the feeling definitely changed. Yeah, there was times when I was, and as I said, luckily, I'm very blessed that I'm not an anxious person. But I sometimes feel or think that the responsibility is more mine, and then it's all on me. But it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. I have other partners and colleagues, and I have a team. So it's not just, I don't have to have all the answers. So I must just remind myself of that. I don't have to have it all together. Don't have to have all the answers and all the responsibility, because there was times when I felt like a little bit anxious. And I think that's most obviously, I think Roxanne carried that a lot. That thing around your heart, that's you're responsible for all of these people. But I think I tend to experience that a little bit more now. But I can manage. I can manage myself.
Mm-hmm. I like so much how you phrase it. That's also that's why I have this amazing team, like a business partner now, because building a business alone is very lonely. Like, and also no one, even if you have mentors, even if you have friends, no one is in it with you. Yeah. It's a different level of exchange once someone is in it with you. So obviously, we're also here to talk about personal finances, right?
Yeah.
And so you said you are responsible for your mom, you have your kids, and actually this generation, we call it in finances sandwich generation, right? Because you're responsible somehow at both ends. When was the last time that you thought and maybe took action on your personal financial future?
I think about it a lot, quite a lot, yeah. But and as now for a while, I want to take action, but I don't. Yeah, so no, I haven't taken action, but it's on my mind constantly. So that's just one place where I'm not quite where I want to be. Yeah.
Do you have even the financial goal? How would it look like for you?
I think a personal financial goal will be to also just don't go about every month to just have this also worry and this thing around your heart of, oh, yeah, just how luckily I'm a person who believe you must first pay all your debts and responsibilities, and I don't like to have any debt, but we have been as a family struggle over the years also, and that's why I say I want to break that cycle. And I think just to breathe and not for once worry, and I just want us to be able to breathe.
And feel good about it. Like,
yeah, because we work hard and we are people that I think live and go about with integrity, and maybe sometimes it's just the wrong choices. I don't know, but yeah, to have a breather really nice. Yeah.
is there some lesson financially, for example, that you could share that others could benefit, that also want to have this like peace and want to just, have a financial good outlook, a safe outlook? Is there any maybe financial mistake you made? Could be private, it could be in the business, that you said, I wouldn't do it again like this?
I can't think of anything personally. I will just say not to be impulsive, because sometimes I think in the business there was times when a woman, we were all just women, and sometimes we need to just calm down and not just buy or spend or get this machine or get this. Then luckily my husband will come in and he will try and do some other stuff before we just buy something. Also, you need that as well. But no, I don't think there's any mistakes. I would just say, for me, I will say what I've learned is that it shouldn't be something scary. It should be something that we can talk about. It should be something that we rather gives us peace than there's something that sits around our heart and makes us anxious. Yeah. Yeah. So talk about it and don't wait as long as I've waited to be grown up for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I even had some clients that said, I didn't think that finances can be fun. And like, that's amazing. Like, we're obviously trying, you see also on the color scheme, like we're trying to open it up, make it more welcoming, easy to have this like entry, not a high entry barrier, right? That's why we offer also so much for free, like the newsletter, information, webinars, etc., community. And we try our best, like I try my best, and they say I explain it easy. Hopefully that's true, make it actionable, make it tangible, real life examples. So there are definitely spaces. I mean, I'm not the only influencer, but like there are definitely spaces now. How are you changing, or are you changing how you talk money now? You said with your partner, with your husband, with your kids, are you involving them somehow? How do you want to break that cycle?
I want to break that. Yeah. I want to involve them, and especially, as I say, I think my son has a mind for business, and he doesn't talk a lot, but the times he talk, I can hear he's putting one-liners out there that not agrees with me and my upbringing. So I think it's valuable to talk to them because they grow up in a different generation and they see more stuff, and they more open to the world. So no, I'm at a place where I want to just sit down and talk with them about it, and be able to what I've learned to give it to them. And
How about your daughter? Do you think she's a bit too young? Because actually it's quite interesting. Our money mindset is formed by the age of 7. Crazy, no?
Yeah.
Like, or are you sitting down your husband and saying, look, get out all the papers now, we're making a plan, calculating some numbers. What does actually financial freedom mean by age X? We need this and this much. How can we reach it? Like, yeah?
No, we had the talk and we said, okay, we must make an appointment now. Yeah. So we are so far. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can only say, like, now also in South Africa, I see the advertisements here. They are really cool online brokers or robo-advisors, like, happy to speak with you about that. Where also, like, you can even start investing for the kids. You could put a small amount per month. It doesn't need to be a lot, right? People always think you need to start with really big sums. It's not the case. I always say it's like waiting to go to the gym until you have a six-pack. No, you grow the six-pack by going into the gym, right?
Yeah.
That's wealth building in that sense.
It's like also they say when you have to wait to have children or wait to get married, then you will never be ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that. You have now built this business for 16 years, largely behind the scenes. Now you're stepping forward into leadership, into the conversation, into the public eye. Is there something that you wanted to build or you want to build now that you never had before the authority to act upon?
I will definitely say I think there's a lot more than that growing paper can do. I think definitely in South Africa, yeah, there's a lot that we can still do. And I've always wanted to, but I don't know, if there's really, I've to see if there's a market, but I really think there's some more space for working with other types of waste material and creating packaging, especially because we get a lot of inquiries for eco-friendly packaging.
Aye.
But it's still, the way we do it is a little bit still expensive, then we can't compete. So I think there's a lot of scope still for using waste materials to create paper or packaging material. Yeah, so that will be something I would like to do, but that will involve a little bit of automation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I mean, this now everyone in my community knows I'm playing paddle now since a few months. Paddle. So I meet like all these South African entrepreneurs, like people that want to create jobs, build something, be it in the food and beverage market or in recycle energy. I met someone charities, like we went to the townships and took planted actually something. So I find it admirable that you want to create something and you're thinking steps ahead. And I wish you lots of luck, and I'm sure you're succeeding. And it's so nice to see also your growth path. Thank you for sharing that with us.
It's a pleasure.
Because this podcast should be actionable, right? Like we leapfrog now from your experiences. What is one thing you want to leave our audience with? One tip, one suggestion, one learning?
I've really grown a lot over the years, as I said earlier on. So I'm still shy. I'm a very shy person, but I was not so confident, and I was always overthinking and sensitive. But as I see how I've grown, and over the years, I've learned to speak up. In the sense of I was always shy to give my ideas, and I have a lot of ideas. I think I have brilliant ideas. I like to give ideas and brainstorm and come up with stuff. And there was a point where I would rather be silent than not saying it, and then wrong decisions can be made. So I would say, trust in yourself and believe in yourself, and and I don't know if you watch the Hungry. What's the the movie's name? Dirty Dancing. Yeah. Don't put baby in the corner. I like that thing. Yeah. So don't put yourself in the corner. Everybody has something special in them. And I think one of the things is also to take on opportunities. My mother-in-law, I got that. I learned that from her. It's just to take on opportunities. If you're not going to put yourself out there, you're not going to be able to see, this is what I like, this is what I'm not like, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm not good at.
Making bold decisions.
Yeah, bold. Yeah, be bold.
Yeah,
bold decisions. Yeah.
Is it that's why you also, like, I love what you're saying. Is it that's why you also mentioned when I spoke about my new client? She's an entrepreneur, completely self-made, arranged marriage. So she built, like, she was denied an education. She built a business in her 50s, and your first reaction was like, now she's in her 60s, and your first reaction was like, wow, imagine if she wouldn't have stepped out of that marriage, built that business, get educated herself, what we would have missed out on as a society. Yeah, so much potential that's
definitely
that is out there, and women are slowly learning to take these bold decisions, and we're here to
No, and we rather will stay in a comfort zone.
Okay, this is anyway human. This is not only male, female. Yeah. Thanks for sharing your wisdom and your experience with us. Can I give you a hug?